Welcome to The Money Hour with Tina Mitchell. Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, is a licensed loan originator with Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, NMLS 7233. The views expressed by the speakers on the following program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC. Now, in the studio, local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome to the Money Hour at 11:50 a.m. KKNW, the Saturday, April 28th show. I am your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, bringing in advice and inside knowledge on today's events in our local economy and how it can affect your money. If you're hearing my show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but I'm here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that I have on the show today. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or you can always go online to themoneyhour.com. And my lineup for today's show, I've got one guest in studio today, a very special guest, Danelle Green with Higher Path Healing. Activate your soul power. Great information and an amazing guest in studio today. So for more information, you can call the show again at 1-855-400-1150 or go online at themoneyhour.com. And today, like I do each weekend, we'll start out with a little money chat.
Money.
I brought in him before, but I thought it was important to bring it up again in Money Chat, was sellers pricing your home right. So all of my sellers that are listening today, this is an important Money Chat for you to make sure that you're maximizing your profit when you sell your home, because that's ultimately what it's all about. And I'm here to say that how you list your home the first time around is going to determine how much profit you're going to make on that sale. For all of my buyers listening today, don't tune out, because if you notice that a home is overpriced from a seller, it's really a great opportunity for you to go in and take a look at that home, because a lot of people are checking that off their list because of the way it's listed, which means it might be an opportunity for you to actually ultimately pay less for that home than if it were listed correctly the first time around. So in today's market, where demand is outpacing supply in many regions of the country, pricing, and no difference here in our Seattle market, pricing a house is one of the biggest challenges real estate professionals face. Sellers often want to price their home higher than recommended, and many agents go along with the idea to keep their clients happy. However, the best agents realize that telling the homeowner the truth is more important than getting the seller to like them, because listing your home right the first time around is critically important to, again, your bottom line. There is no later. Sellers sometimes think if I list my home for a higher price, I can always lower it later. However, research proves that homes that experience a listing price reduction sit on the market longer, ultimately selling for less than similar homes. A seller who prices high in the beginning and then lowers the price, most of the time it takes longer to sell and sells for less. So additionally, the I'll sell price later approach can paint a negative image to buyers in their minds. So each time a price reduction occurs, buyers can naturally think sometimes there must be something wrong with that home. Then when a buyer does make an offer, they lowball the price because they see that the seller is highly motivated. Pricing it right from the start eliminates these challenges. So you do not want to build negotiating room into the price, as this plan will not serve you well in this market. And actually in any market, but especially in a market that we're in now. Many sellers say that they want to price their home high in order to have the negotiating room. But what this actually does is lower the number of potential buyers that see the house, limiting the demand. Like this will negatively impact the sales price of the home. Not sure about this, think of it this way. When a buyer is looking for a home online, as they do more and more often, majority of buyers do, they put their desired price range. And if the seller is looking to sell their home for $400,000 but listed at $425,000 to build the negotiating room, any potential buyers that search in the $350,000 to $400,000 range won't even know that your listing is available, let alone come see it. What about the comparisons online with the prices that are at $520,000, $425,000? How does your home compare to it when it's priced, when it should be priced, or the right price is at $400,000? A better strategy would be to price properly from the beginning and bring in multiple offers. This forces these buyers to compete against each other for the right to purchase your home. Look at it this way. If you only receive one offer, you are set up in an adversarial position against the potential buyer. If, however, you have multiple offers, you have 2 or more buyers, and really in this market, you're having 10 to 20 buyers if you're pricing it correctly the first time around, you have all of those buyers fighting to get their offer accepted, which will result in a better selling situation. Now, the price is right. Great pricings come down to truly understanding the real estate dynamics in your neighborhood. Look for an agent that will take the time to simplify and efficiently explain what is happening in the housing market and how it applies to your home. You need an agent that will tell you what you need to know rather than what you want to hear. This will put you in the best possible position. And again, if you're a buyer, make sure that you're taking a look at those listings. So at that example of where you're setting your price criteria, go ahead and increase your price criteria to be able to see that home that stands out, or possibly a couple homes that stand out that are not worth that price that they've listed for. Guaranteed that's an opportunity for you to come in where there's going to be less competition. Really what the show is about is really to put you in front of the best experts in every area regarding your financing. Real estate, no exception. So you want to make sure that you're working with an agent that understands how to price, is going to talk the truth for you and how to price your home, give you the data so that you can really compare that and know that you've made the best price and the right price for selling your home, and to walk you through that process. So, of course, you can connect with me here on the show, and I will connect you with an agent that can assist there. And that is the Money Chat for today. Coming up next on the Money Hour, do you want to know how to activate your soul power? Danelle Green with Higher Path Healing right here at 1150 a.m. KKMW after the short break.
Congratulations for getting out of bed this morning. Yay, you did it! How do you feel? Do you have the power to accomplish your goals? Are you taking care of your body? Maybe you feel as though just getting through the day is the most you can do. Imagine what a difference it would make in your life if you could activate your soul power. Your soul is perfect. Your soul is strong. Your soul is not broken. Your soul is the source for all you need. Your soul is eternal in your connection to universal divine power, wisdom, and love. Danelle Green is a healer and a guide who will help you activate your soul power, accelerate achieving your goals, and liberate your life. Higher Path Healing. Rise to your next level. It's so possible.
Hi, I'm Danelle Green. I can help you activate your soul power, accelerate your success, and liberate your life. You can find out more at DanelleGreen.com. That's DANELLE Green.com. I will listen deeply, and together we will hear the wisdom and power of your soul. You will rise to your next level. I promise. The divine in me celebrates the divine in you. Namaste.
Doesn't it feel great when you're able to help someone in need? The joy of service to others is often taken for granted, but the reward of kindness is felt as much by the giver as it is the receiver. Sometimes it's difficult to know how and where to reach out to those in need. Mama's Hands has provided a way for you to not only lift the fallen, but to help them stand on their own, believe in themselves, and become strong enough to do the same for others. We need your help. We can change the world together, one soul at a time.
This is Denny Hancock with Mama's Hands. For more information, please check us out at mamashands.org. That's MAMMASHANDS.org. Thank you.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk, AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here at 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, April 28th show. It's a great day to talk money, and that's what the show is all about: how to make money, how to save money, and have a better quality of life for you and your family. If you're hearing my show at a different time, you are listening to a rebroadcast. To connect with the guests that I have on the show today, or to connect with myself, you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855 400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio right now, Danelle Green with Higher Path Healing. Activate your soul power. First time that I've had Danelle in studio. Danelle, thank you so much for visiting me today.
Thank you for having me, Tina.
And a little bit about Danelle Green. Danelle is a guide and healer to help people activate their soul power. As a certified hypnotherapist and owner of Higher Path Healing, she meets clients one-on-one or in group sessions in person or online. As an ordained minister and owner of Celebrations of Life, Danelle writes and officiates weddings and legacy celebrations and funerals. Danelle and her husband, Kevin, place international high school students in host homes for the school year through Green Heart Exchange. They have hosted 13 students since 2006. Student profiles and spots in area schools are available for 2018 and 2019 school year. Danelle is a healer and guide who will help you rise to the next level in any area of your life by activating your soul power. Together, we make a global family. Danelle, again, thank you so much for being here. Really excited for our conversation. And again, as first time in studio here with me is always exciting. So as I mentioned in your bio that you're involved in officiating weddings and funerals, how did you actually get involved in that?
Well, I was a staff pastor for 14 years, which is 700 Sundays. When I resigned the position because God said I could, I took with me the two things I could do with my ordination, which was to officiate weddings and funerals. I write personalized wedding services, allow my clients to approve the ceremony text, and provide a keepsake copy, which is amazing. I gave back my denominational parchment because I'm inclusive. I'm now ordained online. I get to be and do what's deeply true for me every day. I simply celebrate love. Love always wins, always. I also create legacy celebrations for families who want to honor their loved ones for major life events, milestone birthdays, or family reunions. It's so beautiful for family and friends to pay honor and tribute to their loved one while they are still here.
Yeah, I love that, Danelle. And, you know, when you really are doing something that you're so passionate about and it's connected in every way of the way you live life and how you interact with people, it's a beautiful thing. So you have so many businesses that you're involved in and you're interested in. What would you say is your favorite one?
Well, I love everything I do.
Of course you do.
I celebrate love and love to empower people. Weddings are wonderful. Legacy celebrations and funerals are so meaningful. My husband and I love being involved in hosting and placing amazing international students. Loving others is our highest calling. But my favorite work is to guide my hypnotherapy clients toward health and freedom and success in any area of their lives.
So, Danelle, does your husband work with you in all your businesses or in just your weddings and the legacies? And
my husband is a controller at Bickford Ford in Snohomish, so he has a full-time job, and his job makes my life possible.
Yeah, well, you know, I got a husband like that as well. Love it. So why did you become involved in hypnotherapy, Danelle?
In May of 2015, I went to a group hypnotherapy session because I was interested in improving my health and getting new tools to address eating sugary foods in the evening. And it worked. I have not eaten an Oreo cookie or a graham cracker since May of 2015, nor could I if you put one in my hand to this moment. I took a certification course and opened my practice in December of 2015. I have helped many people from many walks of life rise to their next level and to a higher path of peace, health, and success.
So how do people react when you say you are a hypnotherapist?
I find that most people are curious, but a little unsure. I can tell you what hypnotherapy is not.
Okay.
Hypnotherapy is not scary. It's not weird. You don't need to share anything that you're not ready to disclose. The client is in control. It's actually very relaxing. The client tells a story that comes to mind. I have conversational structures to guide the client to understand their story and find the wisdom and power of their soul.
So, Danelle, when they're sharing your story, is there a connection there that you're working with the story and something that's happened with them that is connecting to whatever bad habit that they're trying to release of? Is that how that works for you?
Well, we can work on past stories, and we can work on something that's in their present day life that they would like help with, like I did with Oreo cookies.
Which we all have the Oreo cookie thing somewhere.
Or we can, walk into the future with more confidence. And so it's really in the intake, I ask the client what they want to work on, and we ask that actually every session so that it's very directed to the goals that they have.
And what is the typical amount of sessions that you work with a client?
My packages are usually 3, 6, or 9 sessions.
Okay. So depending on the extremity of their situation.
Yeah, when they buy the higher packages, it just means they're more accountable to work through what they came to work through. And
Got it.
The other thing is I ask clients to come in no sooner than 2 weeks apart because they need time to integrate the new you into their lives.
Okay,
so it does
that.
stretch out for quite a while for some clients.
So what difference has hypnotherapy made in your clients' lives?
Well, I received a testimony from a client this week, and she said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know how wonderfully helpful hypnotherapy has been. I have felt a lot of progress in just a couple of sessions, more than in several months of regular therapy." Another client of mine purchased 9 sessions. We worked on childhood issues and on issues surrounding her mom for 6 of those sessions. She became more compassionate toward herself and her mom. We worked on weight release issues for the last 3 sessions. She emailed me 6 months later to say that she had lost 40 pounds because of the emotional release and healing she experienced. And she was able to change her eating habits. Her mom passed away this year, and I'm happy to know that their last couple of years together was better than they would have been if my client had not invested the money and time to see me.
Love that. So with let's talk about how hypnotherapy actually works.
Our conscious mind uses 10% of our brain function. Our inner mind uses the other 90%. Many, if not all, of our beliefs and behaviors are stored in our unconscious and subconscious mind. When we change our story, whether past, present, or future, at the inner mind level, positive transformation occurs 100% of the time. Our life is the story we tell ourselves. We can change our story. We can change our life.
Yeah. And so, Danelle, do you really work with clients to help them to be able to pull back from their positive life experiences that they can bring in and assist with them today, as well as eliminating the negative ones that are bringing them down?
Yes, that's exactly what I do. I like to help clients sense and find their soul power and learn the tools to activate their own inner power all day and every day. Your mind and body believes the story you tell yourself. So once we learn how to activate our soul power, we can move on to accelerate our success in any area of our lives. We can liberate our heart and our mind and our body to live in greater peace and freedom. And so we do access the areas of our life that are a success.
Okay.
And then we dispel any pain that we have in our body and our emotions. And it's just that simple.
Yeah, and it is simple. Everything in life that is such a benefit to who we are and our success in our business and in our personal life. It is so easy, but it's hard because it represents change and changing your thought process or changing the way you thought things always were, or, always focusing on those negative things versus those positive things. So I think it's so important to really have somebody that can coach you through that process and really help you to bring in new habits that are going to serve you at a higher level. So I just really, really love what you're doing, Danelle. So what do people you serve most need? What is the biggest challenge and problem out there with clients that you're serving?
Everyone on this planet needs to know they are beautiful and worthy and strong and whole and not broken. Everyone is doing the best they know how to do. We can forgive ourselves and others when we access the power of love. We can all be congratulated for just getting out of bed this morning because we had a choice. Imagine each day living with an understanding of and literally feeling the presence of your soul. Your soul can bring light to every area of your life. You are the only one to tell your life story. Tell yourself a better story, and your life will rise to the next level of peace, happiness, and success. Guaranteed.
Yeah, and I think that we all have a beautiful story that we can draw from. It's just actually pulling out those times. I call it my positive triggers, really being able to draw from the things. Because I think we've worked together with my One Time Your Business coaching program. And I believe that there are core issues that we all have, whether it's financial, whether it's success, confidence, family, health. And within those areas, it's finding those positive triggers that you can pull from, that you can bring in every time one of those negative emotions come up. So do you look at your business and what you do as well as kind of a counseling? Is there counseling in that, or it's more really just dealing with the subconscious side of it?
Well, being trained as a hypnotherapist just means that I have, like I said, conversational structures to provide the client. So it's not counseling. It's just guiding their story to recreate it, really.
Yeah. Well, and I love that, really guiding to recreate their story.
Yes.
And it's pulling from, everything's real. It's just what you're focusing on and what you're drawing your attention to, which is going to affect tomorrow.
Yes.
And today and the second. Yes. All right. Well, I'm going to keep, Danelle's going to be here for the entire show, and we're going to have our continued conversation in regards to activating your soul power. And I love the way that sounds, soul power. So stay here. Coming up next on the Money Hour, Danelle, we're going to talk about activating your soul power, and right here at 1150 AM KKNW after the short break.
Would you like to make a real difference for local individuals and families that are struggling with poverty, homelessness, abuse, and violence? Assistance League of the East Side is an all-volunteer, nonprofit organization that works to improve the lives of our neighbors every day.
With your generosity, we can help individuals and families right here in our community through our philanthropic programs, including Operation School Bell.
This year, Operation School Bell has provided 3,500 local children in need the opportunity to shop for new clothes, shoes, and coats. This helps them focus on learning, and they go to school with more confidence. To learn more about how you can become a volunteer with our organization or make a tax-deductible donation, visit aleastside.org.
Congratulations for getting out of bed this morning. Yay, you did it! How do you feel? Do you have the power to accomplish your goals? Are you taking care of your body? Maybe you feel as though just getting through the day is the most you can do. Imagine what a difference it would make in your life if you could activate your soul power. Your soul is perfect. Your soul is strong. Your soul is not broken. Your soul is the source for all you need. Your soul is eternal in your connection to universal divine power, wisdom, and love. Danelle Green is a healer and a guide who will help you activate your soul power, accelerate achieving your goals, and liberate your life. Higher Path Healing. Rise to your next level. It's so possible.
Hi, I'm Danelle Green. I can help you activate your soul power, accelerate your success, and liberate your life. You can find out more at DanelleGreen.com. That's DANELLE Green.com. I will listen deeply, and together we will hear the wisdom and power of your soul. You will rise to your next level. I promise. The divine in me celebrates the divine in you. Namaste.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk, AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert Tina Mitchell right here on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, April 28th show. I am here to help you build a strong financial blueprint 1 week and 1 show at a time. If you're hearing my show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but I'm here to answer any questions that you have or connect you with the guests that I have on the show today. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio right now, Danelle Green with Higher Path Healing, and we're talking about activating your soul power. So, Danelle, we've been talking about your work with hypnotherapy and how that's really helping your clients to go back to the story that they're telling themselves. And most people that are coming to see you are focusing on those negative stories that they have in their past, where the reality is we all have positive stories. And it's really just creating a new habit to draw from those positive things so that you can help your time and space right now, today and this second, as well. That's going to compound to tomorrow and into the future. So what does it mean to activate your soul power?
Well, I don't. Did you know that we each have biophotons in our body? And those
what's a biophoton?
It is a little particle of light.
Okay, that sounds nice.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So if we could take time in meditation to just imagine our whole body filled with light and the energy and the power that is radiated in that. And so that is part of activating your soul power, is just to realize that your soul is filled with light and can activate throughout your entire body and your whole situation wherever you go.
Yeah.
So that's the first step, just being aware of your soul. The second step is listening to that still small voice that always gives you a message of love and power and the choice that really your soul wants you to make. And so when you listen to that still small voice, then you make choices that are obviously better for you.
Yes.
So Rumi said, your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. So in hypnotherapy, I can help you find and remove the barriers that you have built against love.
Okay, so two areas to really feel that light. And if you can just, if you're listening today and you're not driving and you're in a safe place, just close your eyes for a second. And if you can actually close your eyes and visualize that actual light within your body. I mean, I'm just getting goosebumps right now. It's just, it's crazy because that's beautiful. And I didn't know that. And I've never really thought of that. And I know that I'm going to use it moving forward because just taking that space to take a couple minutes and appreciate and actually see that light and imagine if you could embrace that, just how much better you're going to feel about whatever space and second that you're in right now. And second thing that you'd mention is to listen to your small voice. So to really listen to the things that you really want and that your voice is telling you. I would imagine at the same time, stay away from that voice that is not serving you well, because that's there as well. And it's being able to push that off aside and to draw that positive in, correct?
That's so true. And when I first started my business, one quote that I heard that really empowered me was, obey your soul. And when I heard this quote, I literally yelled out loud, I knew it. I've always known that.
Yeah.
And I realized that I had found my freedom and my quest. I had never given myself permission to obey my soul.
Yeah.
And so even though it seems like our soul is that still small voice, it's powerful.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful voice.
And I mentioned that still small voice actually doesn't stay that still and small when you continue to embrace it, because then I know I can only speak for myself, as I don't do hypnotherapy, but I can say for myself that where I'm at now in my life and my space, and I was 50 years old on Thursday, so I just turned 50. And now I know what it means with age comes wisdom. I feel so much smarter, and a lot of that is just really the smarts from within me, that I really know how to use that used to be small, quiet voice that now really is taken over, and it's overpowered that negative voice that I have. And that's what your work is all about, correct, Danelle?
That's so true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When you find your soul, you become who you are.
Yes. Yeah. So true. So who is your ideal client, Danelle?
Well, my ideal client is anyone who wants to change.
Yeah.
And go to the next level of success in their life.
So anybody that has room for improvement, if you're listening to the show right now and you feel that you have any blocks, whether it's a block within your career, it's a block within your relationship, if you're not able to connect like you think you want to with other people or with family, because that's all within as well. If we're not being able to connect, it's not the other people, it's the way that we are interacting and how we're looking at that situation. Also, if you have areas that you need to release challenges or problems that you have, you mentioned the Oreo cookie, which is awesome. Mine would be the salted caramel, anything salted caramel. I need to definitely stay away from that. What about clients that have addiction issues? Is that something that you work with and help as well, or would they start somewhere else first and get to a better place before they would come to you? How would that step process go with somebody that really had a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction?
The first thing that I help clients do is to release emotion. So my first session is usually emotional folders. Why do you turn to the substance that you're turning to? Okay. Another session would have to do with their beliefs that they've been telling themselves. Yes. And we also deal with behaviors in another session. And then continued sessions are just tools that we can use to really change our behavior and our beliefs and what we do. Some addictions, though, do need additional support, like, AA and NA and all of that. So you have to be doing your own work. Yes. On your own, with support groups that meet on a regular basis. Yep. But obviously, hypnotherapy is a great way to begin healing your story from the inside, because there's a reason you turn to that substance.
So do you think if they, you would be the first step, or you would be the step if they were going to a treatment program, let's say, would you advise that a treatment program would be first and then they're coming to you after they've had that? Or do you think your step would be, I know it would be an individual basis, but what do you think would be more beneficial, that you kind of get things out of your system and get in a good place and then come see you, or really get a head start with how you're talking with yourself and the stories that you're saying?
Usually, if you're in a treatment program, that program restricts you from receiving any other treatment. So you would, if you're going to go into a treatment program, do that and receive all the benefit you can from that. And working with me would be more maintenance of the issues that makes sense, that you want to resolve. Okay. If you're trying to, get help for your addiction just on your own without a treatment program, you can come to me anytime. And if a person's going to a counselor as well, then what I suggest is that that the counselor know that the client's meeting with me, and we stagger our appointments so they don't end up on the same week. Just,
and I bet you would be, you guys would be a great complement for each other. Exactly. To be able to share your resources for that particular client, because it's in such a different space. Now, the show is the Money Hour, and I named it the Money Hour because it's about money. It's about having the best quality of life for your family is the ultimate why behind the show, but you need to have your finances lined up. And I have guests like, I've never had a guest in your space come in, Danelle, which I was so excited to have you here. But I've brought people in that don't actually do money, but in everything that we do in life puts us in a space to where we can be at the best that we can be in our business area. So, what would advice be for somebody that's listening to the show that had some stress and challenge around never feeling that they were in the place that they want to financially to be able to support their family?
Oftentimes there are childhood issues where a child learned about money from their parents. Okay. And the messages weren't positive or clear. They might have been confusing. Maybe there was stress around money. And you'll carry that stress with you until you learn to tell yourself a different story.
Yeah. To be able to release that.
Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. So where is your business located at, Danelle?
So I'm in Snohomish.
Okay. So you're close. Yes. And I know that you work with clients face-to-face. You also do virtual meetings as well online, correct?
Yes,
do you see
true.
Majority of your people come in and see you face-to-face, or are they meeting with you online?
So far, my business has been primarily in person, and so I'm launching it online and through Zoom.
Yes.
And so
Zoom's
that's
pretty
what
powerful.
I'm developing right now.
Yeah,
yes.
Love that. Love that. So talk about your online presence, Danelle. So if people want to connect with you, where can they go?
So they can simply go to DanelleGreen.com. That's DANELLE Green.com. All of my programs, everything I do, are on my website.
Okay. And do you just do the one-on-one coaching or one-on-one counseling? I'm trying to find my correct terminology here for you. Or do you have programs that they can buy into, that they do some exercises and things by themselves as well?
Right. Well, where I'd like everyone to begin is to book a call through my website and schedule a free discovery breakthrough call for a 30-minute call where I can kind of assess what they want help with. And then we'll go from there to plug them into a program that would be a great fit.
Perfect. So before I take us to commercial, Danelle, I'd love to have you share, I know you've got a couple testimonials there, and then we'll pick it up, and I'd love to know kind of the story behind, without giving any names, of course.
So one of my clients was able to move from a Me Too story in just 4 sessions. I asked how she was doing about it, and she said, "That's behind me. It doesn't define me anymore." I also had a professional woman who struggled with a sense of failure and was able to retell the story of each life event by what she learned and how each experience made her stronger. After seeing me, she told a business associate, "I can't fail at anything." She was no longer afraid of failure, and she moved ahead in her business. And finally, another client invited the Trinity, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, to help her because she was afraid. In the session with me, the light of God came to her like sun rays. After battling with fear for most of her life, she told me when she began to feel afraid, she recounted God's presence, and the fear would go away. Honestly, beautiful. I could go on and on.
Yeah, I know you can. And what a great place for us to take us to commercial. Right here on the Money Hour, we're going to be coming back with Danelle Green with Higher Path Healing. And do you want to know how to activate your soul power? Well, stay here, right here at 11:50 a.m. at KKNW after this short break.
Congratulations for getting out of bed this morning. Yay, you did it! How do you feel? Do you have the power to accomplish your goals? Are you taking care of your body? Maybe you feel as though just getting through the day is the most you can do. Imagine what a difference it would make in your life if you could activate your soul power. Your soul is perfect. Your soul is strong. Your soul is not broken. Your soul is the source for all you need. Your soul is eternal in your connection to universal divine power, wisdom, and love. Danelle Green is a healer and a guide who will help you activate your soul power, accelerate achieving your goals, and liberate your life. Higher Path Healing. Rise to your next level. It's so possible.
Hi, I'm Danelle Green. I can help you activate your soul power, accelerate your success, and liberate your life. You can find out more at DanelleGreen.com. That's DANELLE Green.com. I will listen deeply, and together we will hear the wisdom and power of your soul. You will rise to your next level. I promise. The divine in me celebrates the divine in you. Namaste.
You may have noticed our community is experiencing a homeless crisis like never before. But what you might not know is that homeless families, especially mothers with children, are on the rise. They're one of the fastest growing groups right now. They are unsafe on the streets, and although they may not be visible, they are out there and they need our help. Mama's Hands is changing lives in our community through the House of Hope. It's a shelter for women and children in need. House of Hope provides not only support services, but a home-like environment for these families. After they graduate from the program, House of Hope staff continue to keep the families engaged and supported through a whole year-long aftercare program.
I'm Kimberly Jackson, Director at Mama's Hands. We would love to have you get more involved in helping homeless families and individuals in crisis in our community. Please visit our website at mamashands.org. That's MAMMASHANDS.org, mamashands.org. Thank you.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk, AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, April 28th show. I bring in studio each week the best of the best experts in our local market on everything regarding money. I'm here to help you in today's economy. If you're hearing my show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. But if you'd like to connect with me or the guests that I have in studio, you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150 or go online at themoneyhour.com to discuss anything regarding your finances, money, or again, to get connected with the guests that I have here in studio. Right now, Danelle Green with Higher Path Healing, and we're talking about activating your soul power. Danelle, thank you so much for hanging out with me for the entire show. It's been a real pleasure and just having fun with this conversation. Again, something new bringing into the show. So before I took us to commercial break, we were talking, I'm sharing some testimonials that you had from your clients, and my listeners love stories. And, just to hear, so is there a client that you can talk about in their situation, where they were at and what that looked like when they had gone through the program with you?
Well, one thing I can say for sure is that 100% of my clients in every single session walk away with literally a new story, a new you, a sense of light. They feel lighter. Yeah. One of my clients said she just felt like she was walking on clouds because she was able to dispel and dismiss so much negative emotion. And so everyone, it's actually feels very miraculous to me to watch it happen and for my clients.
Yeah. And I'm all about releasing emotional stress because majority of people are carrying so much baggage around. And I use the joke that, pack lighter, and I'd love to pack a lot of luggage. I want to overpack when I go on a vacation. So I'm not talking about that, but get rid of some of that luggage that you have, which is that emotional stress. And that really is all that emotional stress, whether it's emotional stress that's attached in business, emotional stress that's attached in your family life. It's all because of the stories that we're telling ourselves. And that's why I think it's so critically important, if you need any improvement, which we all do, is to really have that person that has the experience like yourself to really be able to draw that out, help you share and tell yourself a new story and to connect with the better you,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So can you hypnotize me? Do you do that? Do you actually hypnotize clients or no?
So it's not like stage hypnosis where you do really silly things. It's actually, it feels like if you imagine telling your friend a dream that you had the night before, you're very relaxed in a semi-sleepy state, and you're just telling the story that comes to mind. It's that simple.
Okay.
And after, my sessions are usually 90 minutes. And so I ask my client, how long did that feel for you? And they're like, half an hour, 45 minutes. You lose sense of time because you're so involved in the story that's coming to mind. And you almost don't want to get up from the chair. It's just like, whenever you have your nails done or hair done.
Or you get a massage. It's like, really, I got to get up and drive home now?
Do I really have to leave? It's that same feeling.
Yeah. So majority of the time, it is your client that's actually sharing during that session. Is that correct? Or are you just coaching in where they need to go?
They're speaking the whole time. And then I help guide them.
But you're helping to draw out and guide where they need to go.
If I'm adding to their story, I always do so in a question.
Yes.
So that they have a permission to say yes or no. But I'll say something like, I wonder if this could be true? Or can you see that this is true? And they're like, I never thought of that before.
Yeah.
Yes, of course that's true. And it helps. So I help guide them in that way.
And because they're in that state, it allows them to be more in a calm state, which allows them to hear things differently and to allow things in. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is in story form, too.
Okay.
It's almost like a cartoon running through your mind, and you're just telling me what's happening.
Yeah. Well, and that's all, when you get into visualization and things, it's all about building that story and having that visualization of that actual story. So important. So can you share your new message?
So one thing that I would like to point out, in the 2015 movie Inside Out, our unconscious mind was depicted as scary and dark, which is not true. And I felt so bad. That was a movie for children, and now they think that they have a scary, dark place within themselves.
Interesting. So, and that's going to draw a story for them.
I know.
Yes.
So our accomplishments and our joys and our struggles are stored in our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind, and they're, in doing so, are stored in our body. And so when we amplify our success and dissipate and release any of our pain, then our subconscious mind is a rich treasure of all of everything we've accomplished, from learning to walk, to ride a bike, to going to school, to graduating, to getting your first job. Just we have so many accomplishments in our life that we're not recognizing. And when we can use that sense of accomplishment to move, into the future with more confidence, it's very, very powerful.
Yeah. So, and I've loved how you mentioned the bike and learning to walk, because I always say, one big area people challenged with or have challenges with is confidence, and especially when it comes to business and success. And, I like to go back. It's just really about not giving up and continuing to fail forward. Is when you're riding a bike and you fell off, you didn't quit, you got back up, and the next time you knew that fall was coming and it was going to actually hurt. And, I don't know anybody, unless they were not physically capable, that quit at crawling. So where did that go? Where did that confidence and that ability, that failure just was not an option? We were going to learn and do what we needed to do. And it's all of those negative stories that came in from other people that are coming into our subconscious self. And I love how you talk about, because everything has that balance. Our subconscious is beautiful and it's harmful, both at the same time. It's just what you focus on is what is going to become the person that you're able to be, whether you're your true self or your yourself that really isn't able to accomplish and be the person that you're meant to be. So really important stuff. So can you go into a little bit more detail about hypnotherapy?
Well, one of the things I'd like to mention is that if there are any harmful areas of our subconscious mind, that can be healed, because our whole goal of living life on this planet is to live life well and to evolve as a person.
Yes.
And so any area can be healed.
Yes.
Another thing that I would love the whole world to know is that their soul is not broken. That each one of us have a place of strength and of love and of purity and of power. And I think the world would be a better place if we could wake up each morning recognizing our own strength to get through the day. But so many people feel weak and alone, and they just don't know the power that's within them. And the whole goal of my life is to help people find their soul and know how beautiful and powerful their lives can be.
That's why I connect so strongly with you, Danelle. I, talk about tragedy into triumph, and really tragedy, when a tragedy hits or an insecurity hits, it can be small or big, it doesn't matter what it is, that you have a warrior that's right there beside you. And the true tragedy is not letting that warrior out so that you can fight for your life. And that's really what you're doing in your sessions, is you're helping to let that warrior that's within inside out so that they can fight and conquer through. And, you know, I always ask myself, am I waking up and excited about starting my day, or am I wake up about stressed about having to start my day? And that gives me an indicator if I'm in my best place, because to be honest with you, Danelle, there are mornings when I wake up and I'm stressed about starting my day. And so I have to go back to what happened yesterday. Now, those are few to none, because when it does, I'm really focusing, okay, what happened yesterday that I could have done better, or I shouldn't be doing, or what caused that? Is it a one-off scenario, or is something that I need to work on? Because that is going to compound. But if you can really wake up in a space to where you're excited to start your day. And I think for all of you listening with this special day that we're having here with Danelle, is really life is about becoming the person that you were meant to become so that you can make the difference that you're meant to make in the world. And, Danelle, that's just really what you do day in and day out in your sessions with your clients. So thank you for your work.
Thank you so much. And I like to tell people that they can become who they are already.
I love that.
Just becoming a student of yourself.
Yes.
Another one of my concepts is life is teacher. So life is your teacher.
Yes.
So we can learn, just like you said, we can learn from yesterday. You know, what do I need to learn that wasn't quite going right? Where did this, feeling start? And what better story can I tell myself?
Yes. Yeah. So beautiful. So can you help with memory problems? So if somebody just has an issue, let's just say with names of people, or memory, or having an issue in studying and just can't seem to memorize things. Or I was when I was growing up, I was a concert violinist since I was 4 years old. And I actually had challenges. One of my biggest challenge was memorizing sheet music, where I did, but it took me so much longer than the other kids that I was competing against. So could you have helped me with that?
I think accessing your confidence at that age.
So there was some
really
story I was telling myself, just like I'm still telling that same story. And that's probably why I have a challenging time memorizing names, because I keep telling myself that since I was a child, I had a challenge there. So that's interesting. I need to come see you to see what event in my life actually built that challenge.
Yes.
Yeah. So
exactly.
See, we're doing a session right here live on the show, because I, can see that there's so many different things, and really being able to dial in on that story. What about phobias? Same thing, I bet. Yes.
Yes. There's usually an event that happened that started the phobia. It could be because your mom was afraid of spiders, so you became afraid of them. And so there is definitely structure that I can provide that helps people really work through phobias and dispel any reaction. Our body naturally, to protect ourselves, when we're stressed, it's a flight, fright, or freeze response. And that's sometimes why we forget people's names, because they tell us their name and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to forget that name. So we do, so because we react in stress. So the more stress we can dispel from our bodies, it will help our memories, and also cut down on sugar. Yeah. Because that impacts our brain.
Well, everything seems to be better if we cut down on sugar. Dang. So as we're wrapping up our time together, Danelle, for your sessions, what does a typical session cost?
My sessions are usually $100 a session.
Okay.
And with packages that provide a slight discount.
Okay. And I bet a common question is, does my insurance cover that?
It does not cover hypnotherapy, just like it doesn't cover massage and some of those other natural treatments that we really depend on for well-being.
Which I think are as important as, but I won't open that whole conversation up here, but I think it's really important in all these natural ways to heal ourselves.
Yes, and I offer payment plans so that it isn't, all up front.
Okay. So as wrapping my time up here, what would be your call to action to somebody that is dealing with anything right now in their life that could use some improvement?
So go to DanelleGreen.com. That's DANELLE Green.com, and book a call for a free 30-minute soul power breakthrough session.
Wonderful,
and
Danielle.
That's a great way to start.
Yeah, thank you for offering that that free session there, because all of us needs improvement. So I want you to just think, as you're listening to the show here, what area that you could need improvement on, and give Danelle a call.
Thank you so much, Tina,
Yeah,
for having me.
Danelle,
It's
it
been
was a pleasure. Yeah, I look forward to having you come back.
Thank you.
And this is your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, signing out for the weekend. I'll be here same place, same time next Saturday right here on 1150 AM KKNW.
Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, is a licensed loan originator with Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, NMLS 7233. The views expressed by the speakers on the preceding program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Gateway Mortgage Group, LLC.